Stepping. It's a core part of human civilization. There are billions of people stepping, meaning there are trillions of steps every day. Which begs the question, why not on me? Is it because I haven't begged the question enough? And that's why I'm here, begging the question to Junker Queen and explaining to you why Junker Queen should step on me. One second, actually. I just remembered that this is a video essay, and I was looking through the script, and we have to start a little further back. You might know of a fossil from 3.2 million years ago that we commonly know as Lucy. Lucy was an Australopithecus afarensis. Okay? That sounds like something I would make up to mean Australian hot mama, but it actually is one of the longest lived and best known early species of human. And you might be thinking, why am I going 3.2 million years ago in a video essay about Junker Queen? Well, that's because of Lucy. Lucy was 3 foot 7 inches tall, or in Australian, that would be kilometers. And she weighed 64 pounds and looked somewhat like a chimpanzee, but the pelvis and leg bones were almost identical in function to those of modern humans, meaning Junker Queen's sweet pelvis and leg bones have been evolving perfectly over the past 3 million years to transform from some little chimp that's barely over 3 feet tall into a perfect array of pixels in a video game where you could yell at people across the world to switch off Hanzo. Evolution is crazy. Oh, Junker Queen. Sorry, I didn't realize you were still right there. Let's change up the scenery a bit. I was kind of surprised that this species of, Australopithecus, is like what we consider the most similar early ancestor to humans, and that's because that this species were hominids that stood upright and had walked erect, meaning Lucy walked erect so Junker Queen could make this video. Make me make this video. That's it. Yeah, that's all. Anyways, so yes, I go 3.2 million years ago to talk about some 3 foot 7 inch tall woman-ish, just so I could talk about the evolution of height and how Junker Queen is like double that height, which is pretty hot. But that's not where the conversation of height ends. So for a long time now, there's always been somewhat of an obsession with height in the modern world. Previously, it was only women wanted taller men, which it makes sense why they want taller men. Here's a graph of, how tall someone that's 5'11" is versus someone that's 6 feet tall. I got rid of the bottom of the chart because you didn't really need it. Men, we got a lot of things wrong with us. I'll say that. I'll be the first to say that. But, I would happily date a girl that was 5 feet tall as long as she could wear 24-inch heels. But as of late, you might have noticed that online culture have kind of, all of a sudden we're all about, the big women and stuff like that. Like, when did that happen? And I could actually pinpoint it to a few specific dates. January 28th, 2021, the famous movie director Markiplier made a video with a very interesting title, "Why Didn't You Tell Me About This?" In this video, he kind of has a nice appreciation for how big this character is big in all the spots and stuff. Here are a few clips from this society-changing video.
What in the fuck did you not tell me about Lady Dimitrescu, okay? And look at her. What the hell? No one told me about 8 feet tall. Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. How many times have I said, I want a woman that could crush my head in between her thighs? Oh my God, look, she's got Freddy Krueger hands. Any part of her body could crush my head. And I know the part that you're thinking of, and that's just one of several options.
Now, this video has 5.6 million views, but more importantly, it was exactly what society needed to move forward. We needed a man with a deep voice and long, pretty hair to tell us it's okay to like giant women. You don't have to be the tall one all the time. Who cares? Now, this isn't the first time that society kind of latched onto this idea of having women being super tall and like hot and like buff and stuff. It's been memed about a lot, from Futurama, Death by Snoo Snoo. If I had to choose a way to go, I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, now it's time to talk about Overwatch 2. Now, if you're not familiar to Overwatch 2, Overwatch 2 is actually the sequel to Overwatch 1, and it was also the prequel to Overwatch 1. Now, so it was Overwatch 2 at its release didn't have a lot to offer, so they kind of leaned into making 3 new heroes. So one of them is Kiriko, so they could sell a bunch of skins, obviously. Number 2 was Sojourn to, prove to everyone that they're still about inclusivity, and they'll give Sojourn a bunch of skins and cute skins, just like they give everyone else, right? And then Junker Queen, who was the 34th hero, okay? Which, in my opinion, is a pretty significant number. Kind of interesting that the 34th hero is a 7-foot tall, like, Dami Mommy, or whatever you want to call her, or whatever. So this is a little under 2 years after everyone's freaking out over how awesome and hot Lady Resident Evil was. Blizzard saw that and they said, we need to justify the 2 in Overwatch's name, and that's why they added Junker Queen. Okay, sorry guys, just 1 second. We gotta do a quick little ad read. This is so stupid, but a bean's gotta make a buck, if you know what I mean. Introducing Bean AI, the newest AI to get integrated into every system you have. Did someone say YouTube comments? Oh, check this out. Bean AI, respond! Hello? Hello? So basically, they made a little bean chip. Instead of a microchip, it's a micro bean. You see? Pretty cool. You've probably been wondering where I've been for the past few months. I've been recording every detail of my life to put inside this bean, okay? And this bean, it's like literally just like me. Like, take a look. So I'm an AI inside of a bean that is just a complete replica of you that, what if you want to ask something to this little bean AI? What do you say? Hey bean AI, how many kangaroos are on Earth? Okay, man. I don't know if you understand this, but I'm literally just a copy of you. How would I know how many kangaroos are in the world? I guess that makes sense. And I know what you're thinking. How expensive is this bean AI? And that's where I say, free. Join the Can of Beans Discord server or leave a comment below, and Bean AI will respond to every single comment with a voice message. I feel like Squidward. Remember that? I know you remember that because I'm you, or you're me. Alone. Remember? Alone. Yeah, this fucking sucks, dude. Get me out of here. Yeah, that's it. So, back to your regularly scheduled Junker Queen thirsting video, or whatever this guy's doing. Now it's finally time to talk about Junker Queen.
I came, I saw, I stomped some face. Bow down.
Like a good video essay, I haven't really even gotten near the question yet of like, why should she step on me? So a little lore for Junker Queen. First of all, she's 7 feet tall and really strong. It's time to get to the first point of evidence, and that's like that she does it. And it's one of the first things that came out with the launch of Junker Queen. Here's an Omnic figure where she's just like, she's just literally just stepping on some Omnic. And like, it's a little statue you could buy. Like, Blizzard knows that people want this. I don't know. Let me just clarify. I don't want this. I'm just saying she should. Not because I want it. Just because she does this stuff. I don't want it. And let's actually pause from Junker Queen and talk about some of the other new heroes to Overwatch. I think they're kind of pandering to the same people who again, not like me, kind of like this stuff. But Vendetta, this is something I noticed, okay? When Vendetta was released, the first shot of her was her feet. Okay, it's literally the first thing we ever saw of Vendetta was her feet, and the first word she said was pathetic. Like, that's crazy. That's so cool. That's so cool. Or whatever. And then along with that, you know, people like them tall ladies, and who are people thirsting over? Domina, literally dominatrix. You're gonna make another 7 foot tall ish lady. I think she, like, look at this. Looks 7 feet tall to me. And you're gonna name her Domina? That's crazy. Why would you do that, Blizzard? Stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's so weird. It's so weird. And also, you know what's weird? You know, like Sigma, he doesn't like walk. You know what I mean? So like, why would he? So obviously he doesn't wear shoes or anything. And then I was playing this game, Expedition 33. All the heroes that walk, they have shoes on, but the one that doesn't walk doesn't need shoes, obviously. So like, why does Domina have shoes? Just a little lore critique, I guess. Now, this wouldn't be a true weird anxious bean video if we didn't run some calculations. So one thing very important in deciding if Junker Queen should step on me is calculating how much pressure per square inch would she be putting on me if she stepped on me. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna do a pretty simple calculation. Here's Junker Queen. First, we need the side view, and obviously what we're gonna do, we're gonna take her boot size, and we know she's 7 feet tall, 6 of her boots to get to her height, which means she's 7 feet tall over 6 boots, which is equal to 1.16 feet per boot. Obviously, if we want inches, so you take the 0.16 times 12 gets you the inches. So it's about 1 feet and 2 inches. For our calculation, we'll be using 14 inches. Obviously, that's only the first step. Step on me, Junker Queen. That's not only the first step. Now we need to calculate the width of the boot, which is about, you know, a third if you take this. You know what I mean? So then we have 14 divided by 3, which is 4.66 inches. Now we're gonna roughly estimate the boot shape. So this and this, you know, we're gonna say 3 inches and 5 inches and 1 inch, right? And then how we're gonna do this calculation, and then, you know, kind of like a square there, and then basically a trapezoid here. So that's the impact area. So we're saying the height here is 5 inches times the base, which base times height times 4.66. Obviously, area of a triangle is base times height over 2. So I'm going to divide that by 2. And then, of course, we're going to say this is 4.66 times 1 inch, which is going to be the area, is going to be 4.66. Oops, messed that up there. And then, obviously, the area of a trapezoid, you take these two triangles basically make a square. So you do the base times the height, which at this point, I don't even care about the calculation. We're just going to, you know, we'll say that's 4.66 as well, because honestly, does this calculation deserve any more effort than this? Maybe. And then, so we're going to add all these together times 4.66. That gives us 21 inches squared, and we want pounds per inch squared. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this number, we're going to divide her weight. You know, we're just going to say, I don't know, she's big, muscular. We're going to say 260 pounds over 21 inches equals 12.38 pounds per square inch, you know, which is really cool and nice. 12.38 pounds per inch squared. That's super, I don't know, that's reasonable. And, you know, if we take this here, you know, and, you know, we put that up against the face, you know, wow, there's a lot of boot there, and you know, Junker Queen's big and I'm smaller, so, you know, that's would be really it'd be really cool, or whatever. Okay, this video, you know, this video is whatever. No one cares about this video, but what you should care about, I'm gonna get to the conclusion, don't worry. But what you should care about is I'm about to break 2,000 subscribers, and not in the good way. I'm going down, baby, and I'm trying to figure out why. It's like, Is there like weird stuff I'm posting on this channel that makes people not want to subscribe? I don't know, but it's very sad. But if you wanted to communicate your empathy for me in in these trying times, step on that like button. Step on that like button. Pow, pow, smash. Bow. Stomp. So, in summary, why should Junker Queen step on me? Because she is tall and buff and hot, okay? Because she is literally perfect for it. It's like the perfect amount of like pressure per square inch. It's, she like literally over the Blizzard is like, this is what she does. Like, here you go. Here's like, we're launching Junker Queen with this little statue of her where she's like stomping on someone. So in the end, we asked the question, should Junker Queen step on me? And I think there's a better question to ask that will answer that question. And that is, have I been a naughty boy who needs to be punished? And to that, I say yes.
This much is a truth. This much is a truth. This much is a truth.
So, I can't get over how stupid this is, sitting in my room collecting clips for this stupid ass video.